Alrighty, so in this VOD review, I'll be going over a gold Cloak and
Pick
Dagger
your
player,
hero. Or
and we'll
villain,
cover a
I'm
lot of
not
the
judging.
basics, uh, playing support in this game, things like who to heal, where to position yourself, and when to use certain abilities. So let's just jump right into here, and
All you need to do is capture
um,
the mission area. Got it?
Inquisitor is the player we'll be watching. So just to kind of look at his team for a second, you can see that um, we're running the Thing as a solo tank with a lot of close quarters damage dealers. So our team really wants to be
Feeling
like up close
fantastic.
and personal. Alright, I'm kind of breaking a wall here. Pretty unfortunate. I like that you move around the wall, dealing a lot of damage and finding yourself in the middle of everything. So number one thing that went wrong here was that we were out in the open, so spam damage that wasn't particularly meant for us, probably meant for the Wolverine, ended up killing us. So where we could have been to do the same kind of healing might have been either further back here, or what Cloak players, or Cloak and Dagger players often do, is they'll swap over to Cloak, and instead of dealing damage, we'll just use our fade to fly up and get to a safer spot so that we can continue healing our team. Alright, and let's keep it going. Exploring the map, it looks like. This is so cool. Whoa, you know way more about this game than I do. Well, I had no clue you could just wrap around like that. Neat. Okay. Notice though, we're on the flank and we are the support player. So the sad part about that is we can't really support a team. Um, what I would probably have done is just walking main and trying to play with your team. We're getting in the middle of everything. Yeah, nice job just fading out of there. Alright, so getting back to the team. Healing everyone up. Healing. Getting caught out. Oh, using the heal bubble to protect yourself. Very good idea. Alright, so now we're on damage mode and trying to deal with Bucky. Just a quick look around at your team. So, one thing I like is how you're protecting yourself. One thing you gotta be careful about though is if we spend too much time like dealing damage, we might lose track of how where our teammates are, and they might like take damage and even die without us being able to heal them. So at this point, that's kind of what seems to be what's going on. Alright, looking around, really focusing on that Bucky. It's no longer a problem. And team gets healed up. Alright, good. What can you do with this Bucky? Not bad at all. Alright, okay. Good to be dealing damage. One thing to be careful about, again, is anytime you're in Cloak, you choose to be Cloak, we no longer can like instantly heal teammates who are about to take damage. So one thing I want you to keep in mind is if you're any time you expect that your team is about to be taking damage, it's a good idea to just stay as Dagger, and so that you can heal them up. And keep in mind, anytime that you're like in a team fight and you think like, oh, it's a good idea to deal damage, it's probably also a good time to give health. Okay, Spider-Man runs away. Oh no! Oh, squirrels. Alright, so next thing is whenever we're in the open and taking damage, we can swap over to Cloak and then use our Fade to just kind of get out of there. I would probably have jumped over here. squirrels don't end up killing us, so it's okay. Keeping everyone up whenever they're in a fight. That's also awesome. You're pushing up, knowing Spider-Man's going to take damage, keeping him alive. Good work. Alrighty. So, yep, just kind of hanging around on point. Okay. Oh, we're finding ourselves out in the open. Gotta be careful here, right? Because it's good that you're like, let's see. Seeing these teammates, they are in a fight. You're aware of that. You're like helping out by shooting. Though, one thing we're not doing is healing. And the other thing we're not doing is playing cover. So what that means is if anyone out here suddenly takes damage, um, we're not there to heal them right away. And the other thing that happens is if they throw a hook, we might get grabbed because we're just standing out here. So what I would do is probably be here and just looking at my team and throwing shots of healing at them. Alright, this is a good grab. Notice our teammates like really taking a lot of damage here. And he chooses to go over to damage. This is a good time to like it. Although one thing I see back down. Notice that our ult kind of comes out. I guess you could say it comes out a little late. So you recognize that Wolverine's taking a lot of damage, and you decide to ult to save him. But picture this. What if right here we see Fantastic's taking a lot of damage, and we just ult him? So I think we hesitate a little bit to use that ult, and what that means is we don't have the cloak smoke all around us, so that at this point, Wolverine, we have to use our ult to save Wolverine. And yeah, so hesitating a little bit means that an ult doesn't do as much. It's unfortunate. Everything looks pretty good here. Just keeping in mind that they have Schoolgirl, right? So anytime we're out in the open, even in the downtime of fights, we might get hit by these these nuts. So I would just be like kind of hanging back, playing my cover here. Yep, Schoolgirl jumps up here, kind of misses her shots. Rolled out in the open again. Gotta be careful. Magneto ult comes out, finding yourselves in the front, meaning we're the most available target. At this time, I would I'd swap over to Cloak and then fade out to get to a safer position. Alright, do the fade, and now we're dead. There's not a lot that you can do here. Because all those ults come out, and we don't have an ult. We don't have invisible ult. We don't have your cloak ult, and there's really just no way to protect ourselves. Alright.
So cold.
Team's taking damage. She's walking up, just giving them healing. All good, all good. We're here for the Wolverine. Ooh, okay. Gotta be careful here, right? So whenever we swap over to Cloak and our team's taking damage, they're probably going to die. So what I would have done in this situation, let's swap back over. So your dagger, right? You have both your healing abilities available. So I'm clicking the wrong buttons again. So what I would do is I would throw my orb of healing onto Wolverine because he's alive. Then I would use the ability that you seem not to use very often, is the healing boost. It's like the wall. It seems like you have it on right bumper. So I would just click that, and it would send the healing boost over to Wolverine, meaning that if there's an orb here, it's giving him a ton of healing, and that healing is going to be increased because of the wall we just sent. However, we still have the cloak, so no healing goes out until it's too late, and invisible woman dies. Alright, good job keeping Wolverine up. Wolverine gets a good grab on the Magneto. Alright, I want you to be really careful. In these like scrappy team fights, notice how you are often in the middle. Like where your Wolverine is. And the biggest problem about that is that the tanks and the damage dealers in the other team see you, and they're gonna focus you every time. So if you're in cover in the back, they won't be able to do that, and you'll be able to heal your team just as well. Everything's looking pretty good here. We're coming up on that ultimate, which is awesome. Using your self-heal for yourself, all good. We just saw Spider-Man, so we know that Spider-Man's going to come back and touch the point. Probably a good idea to walk back and take a look at him. Nice stuff. Alright, we go damage mode. Our team's not taking a ton of damage, so I think it's a fine idea. Alright, yeah, so Thor's right here. Another time, I would just go to Cloak, fly, get to high ground, swap to Dagger, start healing my team. Another good option is to use some gold right now. Really good. Alright, going on super damage mode. Fading, though it's a little late. Right, so kind of good that you recognize an opportunity. Rocket's kind of alone, and you're like, alright, let's get that kill. Though, as the support player, by playing that very aggressively, you're putting yourself in a dangerous position, which then leads you to getting caught out and killed. So, just, yeah. I think it's better to be, like, playing a bit more safe and, not exposing ourselves, to getting caught out by Thor. Just check the stat board real fast. Alright, so yeah, you're doing really good. So you notice that you like have a ton of kills and have a ton of assists, and you have like half as much damage as you have healing. So I think the thing you're doing really well is applying pressure by being the kind of like the damage. Though I just want to like again keep in mind that that's not your number one role, right? You have damage healers, you have things. These are the guys that are meant to be in the thick of things. Oh hell! Alright, so yeah, that's tough. I mean, there's not a lot you can do there. Since you're already dead and not with your team. And they didn't pull through. Let's just go to the next round.
Attack.
Cool emote. Alright, let's skip ahead for a second. Right. Pretty much like we're running the same kind of characters, so again, so how could we be playing? What I would suggest to do is you want to play further back from your team and playing cover. So maybe here. And based on the way you've been playing, it's pretty likely that you're going to be out in the open here. And that, again, is going to mean that you're going to take damage, that you're not like able to survive. Yeah, Spider-Man comes in.
Spider-Man!
Alright, good fade. Notice that you haven't used your healing abilities yet, so this is very important, right? Is whenever the Spider-Man comes in, two ways you can play this. One, you choose to put pressure on Spider-Man by going to Cloak and dealing damage. Two, you use your abilities as Cloak to keep your other healer alive and keep yourself alive. So that would look like throwing the orb down, shooting the healing wall at your invisible woman, and then starting to shoot your invisible woman to keep her alive. But what happens is you go over to Cloak, and there's no healing for this just absolute, like, like damage fiesta.
Spider-Man!
So, Invis woman dies with 1 health. Get out. But look at everyone's critical, because we have no healing, right? So I think a really big thing that'll help you here is like recognizing that whenever there's the dangerous threat, like the Spider-Man coming in, it's all about healing at that time. Healing ourselves and healing our teammates, especially our other support. Then lower priority is dealing damage. After we've used our healing abilities, it's okay to swap over to Cloak, but not until then. Invis woman will ults go out. I like that you're playing inside the Invis as your team. You're using the healing wall at the right time. Yep, not much we can do there, right? So we're dead. And the reason we're dead is because we don't have our ultimate up. It's at 98%, super unlucky. One thing I definitely want you to keep in mind is by giving more healing to your team, you're building your ultimate faster. Building your ultimate faster means you're going to be able to protect your team from deadly ultimates before they are a problem. So in that situation, we maybe could have used our Cloak ult before the reroll happened. And so really good. I like using your ult to just kind of push and help your team get onto the point. Do damage while your ultimate is healing everyone. Also pretty good. That's one of the best times to be Cloak because healing's covered. Oh no, oh no! Yeah, so look at this. At this time, it looks like it seems like you want to deal damage whenever you see someone out of position. Good. Though, again, we're not really expecting them to deal the same damage back to us. And what I would do in this situation is probably throw my healing orb at the ground, which is going to heal you while you deal damage to the enemy. So that ability goes unused, and you die, your invisible woman dies. This is just really kind of goes out of control after its numbers. Well, it's going to take like a heroic effort to bring this thing back. Nice looking for your teammates, keeping them alive. Really good use of the healing orb. Anytime you see like your teammates taking a lot of damage and you have your abilities available, throw the healing orb, and also feel free to use the healing wall because it's gonna, have a similar like impact. Nice ult by your thing. Everyone's kind of dead. Yeah. Alright, so yep, that's this game. Quick recap. Um, so number one priority thing is focus more on keeping your team alive, especially whenever there is like some kind of danger. Spider-Man going into your team. And you can have more of an impact by keeping your team alive and preventing Spider-Man from dealing damage than by going to Cloak and dealing damage to Spider-Man. The next thing is to probably ability usage. I noticed that your healing abilities are often going a little unused. So just trying to use those like as often as possible. And final thing would be positioning. Finding yourself a little too far up, and a little too far out in the open. So yeah, finding yourself in cover, like around corners, and just kind of further in the back will help you definitely not be focused as much, right? The other team's gonna have a harder time finding you and getting you out of the fight. So I think with those changes, you will be doing like twice as much healing and dying like way less and just having a huge impact on your games and climbing the ranks. So that's all, and I'll see you later.